from the Don and Lorena Meyer studio at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln College of Journalism and Mass Communications, this is Nebraska Nightly.
Good afternoon and welcome to Nebraska Nightly. I'm Dawson Iasillo.
And I'm Angie Twombly. The government is in day 3 of its shutdown with a bill on the table today.
But first, the University of Nebraska Board of Regents met today with the budget cuts for this winter leading the discussion. That's our top story tonight. On Wednesday, the Board of Regents met to listen as staff and students defended their programs from program cuts as the 6 programs continue to operate through the uncertainty.
The airport just received
Besides the discussion of budget cuts at the meeting was Rico Mountain, who testified for the resignation of the Board of Regents member Elizabeth O'Connor. In May of 2025, O'Connor was driving under the influence when she struck another vehicle.
O'Connor still maintains her position as board regent. As for budget cuts, stay tuned for further updates and testimonies. The deadline to submit feedback closes October 13th.
Temperatures have stuck around despite September giving way for October on the calendar.
Nebraska Nightly forecaster Jameson Nichols has the latest on the heat wave in the capital city.
That's right, Dawson. It was a sweltering one today. It does not feel like fall at all. It's currently 88 degrees here in the Lincoln Metro. 10-mile-per-hour winds aren't helping much. Looking at that 3-day forecast, sun. Monday will cool things off just a little bit, bringing things back down to the 60s, but we have a little more time to wait. Back to you.
The Lincoln Airport continues to get a facelift. Nebraska Nightly's Veronica Fritsch reports a U.S. government grant is bringing runway renovations.
The airport just received a $41 million grant from the U.S. Department of Transportation for runway 1836, which is heavily used by the military here in Nebraska.
The Airport Authority has, over the last couple of years, been working with the FAA to define the runway reconstruction project. And then as the final piece of that was, once we had all the details and the costs put together, we applied for the grant.
The runway is a mixture of old construction going all the way back to the 1950s and is ready for replacement. It is just shy of 13,000 feet long, making it one of the longest in the country and perfect for the National Guard in the 155th Air Refueling Wing. The FAA, the airport, and its airlines are working to minimize negative impacts to make the process seamless for passengers.
So my role is one, just to educate the community on what's going on. If there is impacts, obviously let passengers know if something's going to happen. Really staying up to date with the airlines. We have a new airline starting here in December, and so keeping them updated on what's happening.
After the renovation, the airport hopes to welcome larger aircraft and cargo aircraft. Veronica Fritsch, Nebraska Nightly.
In July, the airport executed the design and engineering process for the renovation, which will include replacing the pavement from the 1950s, runway lights, and signs.
The Sheldon Art Museum has a new exhibition open this fall celebrating Husker tradition. Go Big Red was curated to feature the use and power of red throughout art history. The artwork chosen for the exhibition come from a wide variety of eras, genres, styles, and media, and to showcase the uniqueness of individuals throughout campus. Sheldon's curator for academic and campus engagement, Aaron Hannes, brought on 45 members of the UNL and Lincoln community to help in curating this exhibition. Hannes says bringing in so many people from so many different fields helps to create an exhibition like no other.
And so we decided in part to invite many of these different voices, people who are part of this larger community into the space and really help to highlight their voices and also help us see works in our collection from a different perspective.
Notable co-curators include Husker football coach Matt Rule, former volleyball coach John Cook, and Mayor Lee Rion Gaylor Baird, as well as students, alumni, staff, and faculty. The exhibition will be on display until December 31st, and the Sheldon is free for all visitors. For more information, visit sheldonartmuseum.org.
Nebraska workers have new protections when it comes to Taking time off. The Nebraska Healthy Family and Workplaces Act officially took effect on October 1st, allowing employees to begin accruing paid sick leave after 80 hours of consecutive employment. Workers may use their paid sick leave for personal illness, medical treatment, if they are caring for a family member, or if a child's school or daycare is closed by a public health order. Employers are prohibited from retaliating against workers who use or request their earned sick time. Employees may file a complaint or lawsuit if their rights under the Act are denied. For questions, contact the Department of Labor's Labor Standard Division at 402-471-2239 or online.
It's been almost a month since a woman waited 40 minutes for an ambulance to show up in Hickman, Nebraska due to a lack of available responders. It's a scenario rural communities often deal with, as 80% of EMS agencies rely on volunteers to cover emergencies. Here in Lincoln, Fire Captain Chris Pugh says that resources are hard to come by.
As the city continues to grow and we get more and more spread out, that response time on the outskirts of the city starts to increase. The challenging aspect of that then is how do you get more resources? And all of that comes down to funding with the city budget and employees and more rigs and more stations, and all of that takes time and money and years to plan out.
Captain Pugh says public support remains vital to first responders' work. For those interested in helping out, you can reach out to your local fire station.
Parents, if you are looking to enjoy your Husker game day, the Lincoln Children's Museum has you covered. The museum is offering game day playdates during every home game. They provide kids with a safe and fun space to enjoy the action while creating their own game day experience.
So game day playdates just feel like a natural extension of that. We're so close to the stadium that we have the opportunity to provide them their own game day experience without having to sit through 4 quarters of a game.
For more information on game day playdates, visit the Lincoln Children's Museum website.
The UNL student body has been buzzing this week with homecoming festivities. Nebraska Nightly's Logan Witten takes us to a battle of the bands hosted by UPC Wednesday to showcase local artists.
In the midst of homecoming week, UNL UPC hosted a Battle of the Bands event at the Bourbon Theater.
We think that it's a really good way to get local bands involved. We had it last year and it was a really successful event, and wanted to do something like that again and bring in some new bands. It's just a really good opportunity for people to get to know the local music scene, things like that.
The event consisted of 5 bands who competed throughout the night and were all very excited to be there.
One of the bands, the Break Room Band, kind of recommended it. He said it was so much fun, and we didn't really expect much from it. He said that they packed it last year. He just said it was a great time. We just expected to come here and play music with our friends, and that's really what made us sign up.
This is UPC's 2nd year of hosting this event, and they plan to do it for many more years in the future.
I would hope that we do it next year. It just kind of depends on what works with the budget and the schedule and whatnot, but it is something that we would like to see continue on in the future. I think it'd be a lot of fun to bring in some new bands as well. Just try and get as many people as possible to come show off their music.
The 2 finalists, Joy Rager and Hold Your Breath, will be competing tonight at 7:15 p.m. Logan Witten, Nebraska Nightly.
Coming up after the break, the government continues its shutdown.
We break down some of the effects on a national and local level. Stick with us.
Social media is a daily part of many college students' lives, something we've become used to, but it can also be overwhelming and draining. Studies show that taking regular breaks from social media reduces stress and improves mental health. Too much screen time has been proven to increase anxiety, while stepping away helps you reconnect with the world around you. Take a break. Protect your mental health.
Many of the brands you love don't love animals like you do. Look at the labels of products you use for a bunny logo signifying they don't lab test on animals. Check the label for those who aren't able. Start making the shift by visiting crueltyfreekitty.com today.
Okay, so how about this much?
I don't know.
Well, how about this much?
I don't know.
How about...
Actually, I don't know.
Okay, maybe this much?
I don't know.
The very tip of your pencil, a fraction of a raindrop, 3 grains of salt. That's how much it takes for a dose of fentanyl to become lethal. Learn more at Real Deal on Fentanyl.
Welcome back to Nebraska Nightly. It is a hot start to October. Those temperatures almost hit in the 90s. It could almost even hit 90 tomorrow. Clear skies, a sunny game tomorrow, and even a slight chance for severe storms Saturday night into Sunday morning. Let's look at that radar. You can see a little bit of cover west of Lincoln, some wispy clouds, nothing too thick. Otherwise, it is completely clear, and that is reinforced here with our satellite imagery. You can see much of the Midwest has no cloud cover whatsoever. Up to the west, out here east, you can see a little bit of cloud cover right here, but much of the U.S. is seeing sun today. Let's look at an overview of all the temperatures and the conditions today. We started off at a pleasant 69. That warmed up to the 80s, almost hit in the 90s today. You can see it's currently 88 degrees. A very slight breeze with gusts up to 24 miles per hour. Those temperatures, oh, look at that. Can you believe it's October? 84 out here to Ord, 87 in Columbus, Kearney 89, Aurora 87. It is warm all around the board, and you could feel it if you're walking to and from your classes today. Forecast tonight, clear skies into the evening, temperatures still in the 80s, and it's not going to cool down much going into tonight. Our 7-day forecast, tomorrow it's going to be a hot one, 89 degrees for the big game tomorrow, 86 on Sunday, and it's not going to cool down until Monday, where those 66 temperatures will look a little bit better. 69 on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, sticking in that 60, 70 degree range, and Friday looking mostly sunny. Storm Prediction Center, you can see there is a marginal risk into western Nebraska, Wyoming, Colorado. That likely will not affect us, but it is something that we want to continue monitoring. With that, there's some hail and wind probability in play. Back to you.
They say if at first you don't succeed, try and try again. Well, today the Senate is trying on a 4th vote on the same suspending bill. It's unlikely to pass. Democrats and Republicans can't seem to agree on how to fund the federal government. Until they do, it's staying closed, as Amy Kiley reports.
Today, the Senate is voting on the same GOP funding bill that already failed 3 times. Democrats are expected to block it once again.
We haven't wanted to negotiate. We just want to keep the government open.
We are ready, we are willing, we are able to sit down with anyone, anytime, any place.
Senate Majority Leader John Thune says he's considering a talk with Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. In the meantime, if today's vote fails, Thune says he'll hold another one Monday on that same funding bill.
We are asking Democrats to do nothing more than pass a clean, nonpartisan bill to fund the government for a few more weeks so that we can get back to bipartisan appropriations work.
Democrats say they don't want to keep voting on the same legislation. They want to negotiate changes. They say their primary goal is to stop health care premiums from going up for people on Obamacare.
Enact a spending agreement that actually meets the needs of the American people while at the same time addressing the Republican health care crisis.
Meanwhile, the White House says President Donald Trump plans to fire thousands of federal workers during the shutdown. 2 officials say that could start today or this weekend.
We're going to look at agencies that don't align with the administration's values that we feel are a waste of the taxpayer dollar.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Here on campus, leadership warned students about the potential impact this government shutdown could have. In an email earlier this week, President Jeff Gould and the 4 chancellors of UNL, UNK, UNO, and UNMC said a short shutdown would have little effect on students receiving federal financial aid. Research grants, however, could see delays in payment or stop work orders issued. The longer the shutdown lasts, the more there's a chance those activities could be impacted. The University of Nebraska says to plan for possible delays, especially once the government gets back to work.
Wick is on site at the Urbandale.
While Washington, D.C. is battling with the current government shutdown, the ripple effect is being felt nationwide. That includes Iowa, where some food pantries are struggling to help those in need. Marcus McIntosh reports.
We'll definitely see an uptick in the number of families that are coming to receive services.
Patty Snedenkisting is the CEO of the Urbandale Food Pantry. She held out hope a shutdown could be avoided, all while preparing for the worst.
We typically try to increase our food orders, cross-check inventories, bring on more products, source more food, just to make sure we have enough available to meet the need of the community and the families that are coming to see us.
Broadlawn's Wick is on site at the Urbandale Food Pantry every Wednesday. Snedenkisting says it hasn't seen an uptick yet, but admits it's early in the shutdown.
I can tell you from what I see, they still have a full schedule.
The Families Forward Bidwell Pantry is on the city's south side. The pantry manager says the shutdown makes the need for what they do even greater.
We already see an increase in people with costs of food going up.
Kiana Hines tells us the pantry was already seeing more people through the doors before the shutdown. She's worried what could happen if it stretches on.
It's going to impact a lot of people, again, especially with the SNAP benefits. The SNAP benefits are already not enough to meet the needs of most of our pantry guests.
WIC has come to this pantry to sign up people eligible for its services and even donates formula to the pantry.
We give out for free to our pantry guests, so if that program is not functioning, we won't have those donations of formula that we can give out to the people who need it as well.
Next on Nebraska Nightly, Jackson Ingolstadt previews Nebraska's homecoming football game.
Plus, a look at undefeated Nebraska volleyball. That's after the break.
Done for the day?
Yeah, just kind of maxed out on people.
Is there anything you wanted to talk about?
You know, thanks for asking. I have been feeling just kind of off lately.
Do you want me to
Concerned about a friend? Just ask and refer them to counseling and psychological services at UNL.
On average, every Big Ten student wastes 112 pounds of garbage each year, but there's a fix. Make sure you use an Aussie when you dine in and be a part of the change.
Thank you for tuning in to Nebraska Nightly Sports. I'm Jackson Ingolstadt. After a long bye week that sucks per Dylan Raiola, the Huskers are prepared to get their lick back on the state of Michigan after their loss to the Wolverines. Tomorrow, Michigan State is coming to Lincoln for a Big Ten face-off. Matt Rule shared with the press yesterday where the Huskers' headspace is at prior to Saturday kickoff.
Still thinking about the past. I don't think we're thinking about put something. We're not embarrassed of our effort the previous game. I think for us, we're just excited about another opportunity. We're playing at home, playing a Big Ten opponent. I don't know when the last time Nebraska beat Michigan State. I think we look at that as an unbelievable opportunity. They're a heck of a team. They got a great quarterback. They have a great run game. I think you look at it, you're like, hey, it's going to be a heck of a football game. We think we also have good players too, and I'm expecting our players to go play really, really, really well. I think they've improved, and we're just going to play it out and see what happens.
3-1 record, ESPN Analytics gives Nebraska an 86% chance of a victory. Both searching for their first Big Ten win of the season, Nebraska and Michigan State will kick off tomorrow at 3 p.m. Husker volleyball is hitting the Big Ten road this weekend. First stop, University Park, Pennsylvania. The Huskers will face off against Penn State, the reigning national champs who knocked out Nebraska of the tournament last year. The Nittany Lions haven't had the jump start they've wanted. They are just 7-5 this year, whereas the #1 ranked Huskers have yet to lose a match this season. The 42nd all-time matchup between the two teams will start at 7 p.m. The game can be watched on Fox Sports. Ain't no rest for the Huskers since they have to scurry over to New Jersey for tomorrow night's face-off against the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, which can be streamed on Big Ten Plus at 6 p.m. That's all for sports tonight. Back to you guys at the desk.
Up next on Nebraska Nightly, a preview of tonight's homecoming festivities.
And a look at your game day forecast.
Of the 40 million tons of plastic waste generated in the U.S. in 2021, only 5% or 2 million tons was recycled. Make sure you do your part in keeping Anderson Hall clean. For more information on recycling statistics, visit epa.gov today.
Nearly 1 in 3 Husker students struggle with food insecurity. Husker Pantry addresses food insecurity and a welcoming space by providing free food and personal items to UNL students in need. Due to high demand, the pantry often runs out of essential items. Help keep the pantry stocked by donating the most needed items. From canned food to personal items and cleaning supplies, you can make a difference by donating. Learn how to donate by visiting pantry.unl.edu.
Welcome back to Nebraska Nightly. It's homecoming week at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, where the campus comes alive with Husker spirit.
UNL Homecoming Week includes a variety of events such as a 5K fun run, a cornstalk festival with food and music, a yard show for multicultural Greek councils, and a HOCO parade. AI served as an inspiration for this year's float, entry from UNL student government.
I grabbed the theme and took it with full force. I started brainstorming with our external vice president, Misha Jalali, and we looked on Pinterest, looked at Google, even asked ChatGPT like crazy ideas for our float. And eventually we came to the final product and we're committing to the bit.
Each year, student clubs, alumni, and community organizations come together to design and build floats that bring the school to life.
I think it just takes a really important role with us connecting with the students itself. So us, yeah, we're in the parade. We've been in the parade the past couple of years. We're usually behind the homecoming royalty, but us having a flow and actually adhering ourselves to the student body more, that's super important and more making us more connected to the students.
The parade kicks off the weekend of festivity leading up to the big game at Memorial Stadium.
The homecoming festivities wrap up with football tomorrow, and it is looking like another beautiful day at Memorial Stadium. Jamison Nichols returns with our game day forecast. Jamison?
It's going to be a hot one. 87 degrees is our high, and depending on how those conditions pan out, it could even hit the 90-degree threshold. We will see how that plays out, but make sure to bring some water and stay hydrated, as it's going to be sweltering tomorrow.
Have you guys seen the things outside of all of the frat houses?
Dude,
They're so cool.
They were outside working last night, like 12 a.m., putting in the work. So
I live in a fraternity myself, and all the different fraternities and sororities, they stay outside and stake out, and they guard the pomps. I could not sleep till like 3 a.m. There's blasting music all shooing away at people that were trying to infringe. So
did you have to work on it yourself?
I watched from afar.
Okay.
I did my fair share my freshman year, but you know, it's really good. It's really fun. Not flowers, but they got the napkin rollings, and it looks cool at the end of the day.
At least it was nice out to set everything up.
True, it'll be very nice this weekend for the game too.
Thank you for tuning in to Nebraska Nightly.
Our next live show is on Tuesday at 4:30 p.m.
We will also be beginning our update shows next week, so be on the lookout for those on YouTube.
Have a great weekend. Nebraska Nightly is a production of the University of Nebraska's College of Journalism and Mass Communications.